My wife wasn't supposed to be in Chicago. But the police arrived first, with the truth I never saw coming.
My name is David Carter, and nothing could have prepared me for the moment a security guard at my own daughter. As Wedding said, "You're not a must, sir. Not at some nightclub, not at a private party, but at Rosewood Gardens, the very venue I had paid for, down to the last flower petal." The June sun was beating down on my suit as the guard repeated himself with a kind of stiff sympathy. "Mr. Carter, I have instructions. You're not permitted inside." "I'm the father of the bride," I said, my voice quiet. But his expression told me everything. This wasn't a mistake. As I turned to leave, a waiter nearly bumped into me. "Sir, aren't you going in?" "Your ex-wife said you refused to come something about being embarrassed by the groom's family?" That stopped me cold. Linda, of course. My ex-wife's talent for rewriting history was legendary, but this was a whole new level. Moments later, Christopher's uncle saw me and rushed over, completely baffled. He told me Christopher, the groom, had spoken so warmly of me, even expected me to give a toast. When I finally got Christopher on the phone, he was furious. Then I went home, not to sulk, but to decide what came next. On my desk, I laid out the records of everything I had ever given Emily: her college tuition, the deed to her apartment, her car payments, and now a $175,000 wedding. Then I opened the paperwork for the trust fund ID built for her since the day she was born. It was the one thing Linda didn't control. So I picked up my phone and said the words I never thought I would. Freeze it, the trust, every payment, every future distribution. If my daughter wasn't allowed to choose me on her wedding day, I wasn't going to finance a fantasy built on lies. "Yes," I answered. Apparently that was news to a lot of people today. Whispers ignited like fire. Then Emily saw me. Her smile died. "Dad, what are you doing here?" I walked toward her, calm. "I thought I'd drop by," I said softly, "considering I paid for all of this." Linda shot toward us like a missile. "David, leave." "And these," I added, sliding out the trust paperwork, "confirm that as of an hour ago, your trust fund is frozen." Emily's face crumbled. "Dad, why?" "Because you made your choice," I said. "Your mother worked very hard to make sure you did. I wasn't punishing her. I was ending the part where I paid for everything while being treated like nothing." Then I walked out, leaving chaos in my wake. But that wasn't all. Linda had been asking Emily for money. We checked the trust fund and found 3 large withdrawals, totaling over $300,000, with Emily's signature on the forms. Except it wasn't her signature. Linda had forged them. The money was traced to a shell company, Linda Vista Holdings. When I showed Emily the evidence, she fell apart. Her mother had lied, stolen from her, and turned her against me to cover her tracks. Linda was cornered. We learned she'd spent all the money. Her new husband was leaving her. Their house was in foreclosure. Under immense legal pressure, she finally confessed everything to Emily. Every lie, every forgery, every stolen dollar. Her ruin was swift. She lost her money, her reputation, her friends, and ended up cashiering at a grocery store. Emily and I rebuilt our relationship, not on money, but on truth. Years later, she told me the worst part wasn't the money,